Hello, welcome. You are now watching the four-letter. No, that's an A, nerd. Yeah, you're watching the four-letter nerd. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by Hyro Geek X Unlimited. And of course, well, it's your weekly. Your weekly geekly show hosted by me today. And today we're going to be talking about the best and worst fight scenes that we've seen, heard about, read, watched, all that good jazz. But you know, I'm never alone. I can never be alone because they will never let me be alone. Because you know, it wouldn't be the four-letter nerd, it'd be that guy just talking at the screen. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my wonderful, wonderful co-host. And first and foremost, as always, because he's always going to be last. First up, Lady Sidonai. Oh, yeah. Is this how we're being? Yeah, I tell you, you're last is what we're doing. You see what he did? You see that? I told him he's always last. You see what he did?
I don't get involved. I let the twins work out their issues. Hi. Good to see you. Good to see everyone.
Yes, it is good to see everyone. So how you doing, ma'am?
I'm better now. How about you?
Better now. There you go. That's all we can ask for. And then, yeah, just bring yourself in. Just bring yourself. I'm not even going to give you the honor of clicking on you to bring yourself in, sir.
You know,
it already began before it's even begun.
I didn't even do anything. You know what? What's up to everybody? It's a pleasure to be back. Lovely to see your faces. Skadoosh.
Moment of silence to our boy Bergie, who put his back too far into it and messed himself up.
He could do it. He put his back into it.
He should
not have. That's what I'm saying. Put a little too much back into it.
You know?
This is true.
He forgot that it's from the waist down. The back is not included in that.
Probably I still got the kickstand move.
Let me rock your world, girl. Let me show you this what I used to do back in the 80s.
Oh my God, what's that baby boy? Vig Rames do the little dance.
And then you hear click.
Oh my God. What's up, Ray? What's up, Steven? What's up, Greg? Too much daddy into it. You're probably right.
This is true. But hey, we commend him for putting too much into it to where he got too much out of it.
Better too much than not enough.
Right? So, Mayhem, how are you, sir?
Yo, I'm doing really good. We had a really great meeting on Monday with the four-letter nerd. We got some really great projects coming up. Just a really great direction overall. Me personally, I have vacation coming up. As of this Sunday is a certain two people in my life's birthdays who are very important to me. I'm gonna not spoil it, but one of them you see all the time. The other one always announces themselves. So if you watch the show, you should already know. Hey, yo,
right. You know it's funny because it's interchangeable right there.
That's true. That is also true. And my vacation from Sunday to Saturday begins this week, and I'm really looking forward to it. At my job, I've had the pleasure.
I see the post, man.
First, okay, so I'm gonna keep this very brief. I don't know if they're watching. At my job today, at my station, a homeless person decided that he was gonna change in front of me. Fully change, no underwear. I've gone 9 years working at this job, and hold on, at least 20 years of riding the train without being flashed by a man. And today was the day.
Quantified that real quick.
Today was the day. To the point where my friend was like, yeah, Bergie's here. He went command. He did. To the point where my friend was like, yo, see if you could clean him up and put him in a show because we could make some money off of him. And I was just like, I hate you so much. But yes, you're probably right.
So somebody was bent over changing in front of you, and Bergie hurt his back somehow and can't be on the show.
Sounds like a porn was made.
Hmm.
Throw that Burgie in a circle. Throw that third G in a circle. All right, I don't care. But anyway.
Noted.
So that's how Burgie hurt his back.
Oh man, I didn't see
things.
this. So Steve said, I bought one of those 10 devices at Contropolis, Pennsylvania. It's amazing. Burgie needs one for all his aches and pains. You know what? I'm sure you are pure evil. Listen, I'm sure. You know what's crazy?
Wait, which one of us?
Yeah, which one? Because I think it's Cat.
I don't think that needs to be.
I think so. I think I'm being targeted with that one, which
I
fair.
don't think so. Why would he say that you're evil? Have you pranked him recently?
Me?
No. Oh
No?
my gosh. No,
See?
but I should. I knew it. I don't know. I'm the one that suggested he was the one changing in the subway.
It's me.
Oh.
Cat's the problem. It's me.
Always.
Well, nonetheless, this looks like a really allegedly. Yeah, that's true. We're gonna have a great show. Sorry we can't have Burgie, but we'll definitely have his picks next time. I definitely want to talk about our picks because I feel like, and then we normally share each other's picks with one person, which is Reginald. All right, we normally share it with him, and he tells us if we have duplicates and whatnot. I cannot wait to see who goes first and who picked what, because I think this is going to be.
Well, people don't even know what they're picking. What's the show about, guys?
I told him.
No, Reggie said that. Yeah, Reggie said that.
You did?
I said the best
Where
and
the
the
hell was
worst.
I? Oh.
You were in your tea because you were sipping it.
You know what?
Far
I
away.
was too deep in the weeds thinking about Burgie at the subway station. Sorry about that.
That's what it was. Oh, Ray, your number
Thanks,
one fan,
Ram.
Ray Taylor, Mia. What's that? A gang.
My A team.
There you go. What?
That's my A team.
All right. Who's going first?
We ride or die.
Ooh, I would say Mayhem goes first because he's trying
Best
something new.
and worst on-screen fight scenes.
All right.
I picked all movies, and now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have. I'm sure there were. If I had really thought about it, I could have thought of some really horrible.
Technically,
TV
one's
show
from
fight
a
scenes,
book
like-
because we didn't see it in the movie much.
Like the Hulk or like Bionic Woman. Some of those fight scenes were.
I didn't think about
not
TV
great.
shows either.
I didn't think about them. All right, so who's going first?
I'm trying to figure out.
I knew one of us was going to pick that. I knew one of us was going to pick it. That's why I didn't. I chose a different one, but it's in the same vein as that one.
Okay, hold on. Let me get.
That was
get
a
the
little
thing
Inception
straight.
right there. Screenception.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out the one that just shares the window. Is it the window? No, it's the entire screen.
Is it the
The
wall?
share window shares the program you're trying to share.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna do this one. But damn it, I can't see myself. All right, so can you
Yes, we
put
see
on my
this.
screen?
Yes.
All right. So
So this is the worst.
this is the best. One of the best.
I was going to pick this one. I was really going to pick this one.
I
It
can't-
was hard for me not to pick it.
All right, so I can't really see myself unless I pull myself up on the screen. But anyway, this was one of my favorite fights of Naruto versus Sasuke. I forgot when exactly I got into it, but I remember I binged the manga and I think I read over 200 chapters, excuse me. And it was just like amazing. So Naruto is divided into technically 2 seasons, but it's like many different arcs within those seasons. There's Naruto and there's Naruto Shippuden. Shippuden is when he grows up a little bit more. He's a more mature adult. And if you know the story, you know it's always Naruto versus Sasuke, right? They fought in Naruto at the bridge, and it was amazing. You know what? If you haven't watched it, I'm not going to spoil it to you, but obviously they would do for a rematch. This is them overpowered. They pay homage to so many classic martial arts. Yes,
They do, but they also inspired a whole lot of fights with this fight, like the Boondocks.
Yes.
Like this part right here.
Yep.
Boondocks.
So you're probably wondering why is it that they have the Jesus effect where they can not only stand on walls but walk on water. That's explained. It's called chakra. And like this fight was a long time coming and the payoff was amazing. There was another fight that was widely looked forward to, but it just really didn't pan out that way. It's one of my worst ones. I'm not gonna spoil it right now, but like something like this is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get the whole picture for you guys. Like Sasuke is out here handling Naruto for a little bit, and I don't know if we can get it, but there's no sound because we don't want to get copyright, all that good stuff. But when you hear it, it is so amazing. He's even. Oh my god, Amaterasu, and then Naruto like finds a way to counter that. Like this is all amazing. You have to watch it. Definitely check it out. This was like number 3 on my list. I'm gonna stop it here. It's been a minute, just in case. It's been a little bit more than a minute. I don't want to get flagged. Number 2. Come on. You know it. If you know this series, oh, let me turn this down. I don't know if you guys can, but
no.
Oh, you did? Okay.
No, we didn't hear it. You're lucky.
Okay, cool. So this is actually a Daredevil, the hallway fight scene.
Oh,
I'm just gonna go forward. So if you've seen Netflix's Daredevil, you already know how this goes. I felt like it was like 30 minutes long.
right?
And it was such a great fight scene because here it is, Daredevil, Matt Murdock, technically has reached a point where he's just like, he's not giving up flying. Fuck. He's just like, I'm going to go in and kick some ass. Hopefully we can get some of it so you can understand. Ooh, let's go back. So then he goes in there, beating up the guy once again.
You're not sharing it.
I'm not sharing it. It doesn't show.
No.
Okay.
It's only showing the Naruto on pause.
Oh, hold on.
You got if it's in another program, you got to switch windows.
Oh, that's whack, yo. Hold on.
Then you got rid of us. That didn't work. Ladies and gentlemen, now you see why I am typically the one in control of it.
Yes, but unfortunately, I don't want to. Okay, here you go. Boom. This one.
He doesn't want me to see his stuff.
All right.
Then he gets rid of us again.
There you go. So
I'm glad that we're having technical difficulties right now because I just sent you another one, Reggie. Sorry.
No problem.
It's okay.
So there's the Daredevil fight scene, and he's not giving a fuck. He's just out here beating him. And honestly, this is probably like the slow part. And it's so realistic because it's like you just beat up 5 guys, technically, and you're not tired. And then he's just like going at it. If you watch the whole thing, you already know how much greatness this was.
Yep.
Honestly, this deserves to be at number 1, but I found one that I thought was better than this. And I'm going to show it to you now because
better than this.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So, fun fact, that fight was inspired by the hallway fight in a lovely Japanese movie called Old Boy. And it was more violent because he had a hammer and he did not care whether you lived or died. And yeah, so imagine that fight scene with a hammer and the guy not caring whether you live or die while you're in this fight.
All right.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So
what you're doing. Okay.
So Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There was some great scenes, and people I remember complaining about all the witchcraft and the jumping of the ropes, whatever. Even the first fight scene was amazing. But this,
well, it's supposed to be art, man.
I know, but people are uncivilized, uncultured, to say the least. This was the payoff everybody, to an extent, was kind of hoping for. I think this is the best fight scene in the movie because here it is. You have literally a vet who's good at like fighting, a vet fighter, and then you have a young prodigy who just has the mystical sword. And you need to watch. The mystical sword is the Green Destiny. That's what she has in her hand right now. You see it is green, and the artwork, the choreography. Let me see if I could just boom. What? She's turning around and blocking. Like what? How could you not get hype? And one of the best things about this is just shows how skilled Michelle Yeoh is as an artist, as an actress, and I don't know.
And she just won her first award,
right?
Yes. So
I mean, not her first award ever, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
first Oscar.
Yes.
Yes.
So couldn't remember the name of it, so I didn't
that one.
So thank you. Yeah, that one, that guy.
So a little context: the Green Destiny is so strong. I forgot what they made it out of. That it cuts through everything. So now
vibranium,
jade.
Vibranium, vibranium and adamantium. So it's literally cutting through. It's literally cutting through all the weapons that Michelle Yeoh. Oh, give me that, baby. Michelle is using against her, and she has to figure out how to beat this prodigy at sword fighting while losing the weapons. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you have not seen this fight particularly, go watch the movie, and then go watch that fight because the way it ends is amazing. It is
very true,
spectacular. Those were my 3. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on giving my honorary mention. I do have 2 that was worse, that was bad, that I want to get into. I'm doing it the old school way, so I apologize. What's this? Okay, so first up, All right. So, do you guys see this? This is. Tell me if you see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Okay.
see it. I know which one that is. Yeah.
This is Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey.
That
Harley
whole
Quinn
movie.
versus the Thugs. So, like, I want you to understand when I say this is one of the worst fight scenes, it's not because it was badly choreographed. It wasn't. It was an average at times. I felt like it dragged on too much. I felt like they just kind of messed this up. But it had great moments. It had really great moments. Like this right here. Okay, this is how you get hyped for one, right? Like she bounces the bat, and anybody who's ever played baseball or whatever, you could bounce a bat particularly, right? So then she runs into the goons. They shoot up. This is the police warehouse, so that's cocaine, evidence, whatever. So she gets high, right? It's a little wonky, right? And then she's just like, okay, boom, and it starts off good, but then this whole fight scene just seems to drag. Boom, knocks the cocaine into like one person, splits into three. Okay, she does that in the Injustice game. Okay, that's reliable. Boom, bat, boom. Okay, it's a little slow. That I don't know if I believe, but okay, I'll take it for now. It's Harley Quinn. Boom.
I feel like they filmed this at this speed with the intention of
Mhm.
speeding it up slightly for the release and then just kind of forgot to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
going slow so they can hit their points like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like they're counting the shots and everything and with the intention of cleaning it up. And then we're like, oh no, we need to make the movie longer, so we'll just leave the fight scene as it is. Because the slow parts, even the parts that they're intentionally slow down, feel too slow.
Yeah. How she started the fight scene in the warehouse was pretty, and actually in the precinct was pretty dope, but it was just like, it didn't live up to, you know what I'm saying? There was no climax that was amazing, and then it stopped. It just felt like it dragged on. Don't get me started at the last scene where everybody
that last fight was even worse.
So,
man.
But I just, for me, like coming to this part, I was like, holy crap, this is not so good. This is not so good. And
not so good. Okay.
And
no
then
argument
this is not
here.
the greatest.
So then my second worst one, I chose an easy pick.
Oh, an easy one, you say? Oh God, this. Oh God, this.
I have yet to watch this movie.
Don't.
This. Oh my God.
Technically, there is a fight, so it's called a fight scene.
Right.
It's not really much of it. It's a lot of CGI. I would say
and a
wire
lot of
work,
shaky cam and cuts and switches and twitches
like that right there. Okay, that would seem amazing, but it's not. That's not the flex they thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I could actually bring this up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see the full screen. So then they stop fighting. The villain is obviously taunting, and they're reverting back. He's taunting Morbius about not going back. If you see the movie, you'll understand.
Yeah.
And then let's actually skip this because this is useless dialogue. So then he black cop is calling in, white cop is arresting the other guy. He breaks a piece of the thing, puts that guy there, boom, and we're back to fighting after he eats him. 4 cops show up. They all look like New Yorkers for some reason. I don't understand that, but whatever. And then there's that. What the fuck was that? Why couldn't I see what happened?
Because we're not trained enough to follow the movements of
the
that
worst
fight.
part is that he's wearing trainers. Can he have nicer shoes on?
Yeah, it was.
Can you imagine getting your ass kicked by somebody wearing New Balance sneakers?
So
that's worse than Black Air Forces.
Oh my god.
That's just as bad as somebody wearing Crocs.
I mean,
they put him in sport mode and rocked you.
So the last one I think was bad was when Naruto went against Pain. Now that's my last one. Once again, the reason why I personally picked this as the third worst ones, unfortunately, this one doesn't really show it. I guess they got flagged. And the reason why is because of the animation. So like the animation right now seems very still and very, very solid. When he actually starts fighting the guy in orange, multiple guys, it gets fluid and blurry. When I tell you I read this in the manga and I was so hype for this, and then when I saw it on anime, I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. They're going to animate it great. And it turned out to be so much trash.
It's called they ran out of budget.
Oh, they definitely did.
It's called they
look
ran
at
out
this.
of
Look,
budget.
you just saw the cleanest. Look how that looks. that did not look like that when they drew it, and it's just like, oh, why would you do that there? Like he just looks weird, and
They ran out of budget.
They had to have run out of budget because
That's why you see them standing and only their mouths moving. You can tell when an anime runs out of budget when you see scenes like that. You just see the characters standing and only their mouths are going. They ran out of budget. I don't know why or how they ran out of budget, but for that part, they ran out of budget. And they're like, we've got to animate all of this in the best way possible. And sadly, that was the best way possible.
All right. And the last one, before my daughter tears up my whole living room, is John Wick 2. The catacomb scene. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is this good or bad?
This is my honorable mention, actually. Sorry.
So it's good.
For good?
So good. Yes, for good. For good.
Okay.
Sorry. That I wanted to go back to. I like the whole lead up to this about him preparing for the suit, what he's going to wear and all this other stuff and the type of grounds he wears. Like, this is such an amazing shot. And I think the best part for me is when they go underneath the catacombs, which I think he's going to do shortly. And then
he made his plan?
Yes. And he's just like picking up weapons and he's just like, it's amazing. It's well choreographed. It's believable to an extent. And
actually, it should be more.
You saw Reggie's face go.
Because no, we saw him do the training for this scene.
Right. They purposely released the training to let us believe that. Common, I liked you. That's all I'm gonna say. If you watch John Wick 4, he gets more superpowers. That's all I'm gonna say. So that's him in the catacombs. He's going to his like checkpoints, obviously, and then I think at like 2 minutes 2. I'm really just trying to get to the part where he's just like, oh, yeah, she taunts him, all this other stuff. That's great. That's great. That's great. But, you know, it's the movie. And then, boom, here's everybody comes in. And then it's a big shootout. My favorite part, I think, is when he uses the shotgun, the Ranger shotgun. And he's out here killing people. I don't understand how people with flashlights don't hit their targets, but whatever.
Right?
He had a
Maybe
gun.
because they're running with the flashlights and therefore they're not getting a great.
I like what you said. I don't believe it. So, you know, these are trained marksmen. You know, that's what I'm saying. Look at this. Boom.
Well, these are just hired goons. They're not trained. These are just guys that can shoot a gun.
I feel like
one of those guys is definitely Paul Blart.
Right?
So these were my picks. I'm going to stop it there once again because I don't want us to get flagged and all this other stuff. They can be really picky about what they choose and choose not to do. Well, but I really think, what's up, Sword? Pleasure having you here. Those were my picks. Naruto, the final battle, Daredevil hallway scene, and then obviously Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I forgot their names. Oh my God. Those were my top 3 best fight scenes of all time. John Wick and the Catacomb was my honorary mention. Birds of Prey, I'm sorry, number 3. It wasn't Morbius, number 2. And then Naruto versus Pain wasn't technically a bad scene. It was just drawn bad, so that's my personal gripe. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Tip your waiters.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Nice choice. Nice choices. Nice choices.
So I will give you a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, that's very generous. He would not be that
I'm
nice
not gonna
to
be
you.
like, oh, that's a 6. That's a 7. No,
hold on.
I give honest opinion.
If I could say one thing,
yes.
I am generous when the content is righteous. That is 100% true. I may gripe about it, but I'll give you the deserving number. Thank you.
Well,
okay. All right.
Noted.
So.
Noted.
If you say so.
Noted.
So
we can isolate that clip for
answer?
later use.
No problem. Hold on.
So
we didn't answer anything. Greg, next time, definitely. We'll definitely hit you up. It's always good to have one of the viewers on this show.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a viewer special episode. Just have viewers on.
Thanks, Mia.
This is one of the best fight scenes.
That was about Crouching Tiger, I believe is what you said that about.
Okay, yeah. All Greg ever watches is fight scenes. Greg, let us know your best choices in the comments below, please. And then Sword. All right, so my time is done. Thank you very much.
Thank
you for the score. Kat, what were you giving me again? You said 9? You said 9?
No, didn't say that.
You said 8.5. Cool. I got you. No problem. I love to hear it.
Don't let him goad you.
I love to hear it.
No. I'm gonna hold my scores until the very end because it will take into account your behavior and scores of my choices.
Ooh,
I don't want to regret a high score, and you'll be like, that was a 2.5.
I'm not that bad.
Absolutely not.
I'm not.
Are
that
you ready,
bad.
ma'am?
Always.
I am.
All
Are
right.
you ready? Because you've got
I'm
my
ready.
pictures.
I do. They're in the order in which you sent them to me.
All right. So best first.
Yes.
Okay. So I picked all from movies, and of course, the longer I think about things, the more I remember other things, and I don't necessarily wish that I picked differently because I stand behind these picks.
She does.
This is Lord of the Rings: The Two
I knew
Towers,
it.
The Battle
I
at
knew
Helm's
it.
Deep.
I knew it.
You knew I had to get Lord of the Rings in
Yes,
here
at least once.
some point.
It's gonna happen.
Yes.
It's gonna
This
happen.
scene, I remember the first time I watched it in the theater. It was IMAX. I don't do 3D; it makes me dizzy. But it was in an IMAX theater,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, when Gandalf appears at the top of that crest and he says, "The Theoden King stands alone," and the Rohirrim comes and Carl Urban, my man, Eomer, he goes, "Never alone," or "The King's not alone," and then he says, "Rohirrim to the king," and you get that scene and the music and the white horse at the front and then being out and then just the carnage that ensues. That's some powerful shit, man. It brought
Right?
tears to my eyes. So yeah, definitely a highlight of movie, just the cinematics of it. It's beautifully shot, beautifully acted. It's
Mhm.
powerful and a turning point in the series. 10 out of 10. This is a comfort movie for me, which is weird to say, but it is.
Look, it's a good fight, dude. When I was in the theater, like I got the chills when I saw him up there. Then I
Yeah.
just see this huge scene of it was like water pouring over a hill,
Yes.
and you're just like,
With the sunlight coming, and and even the scene before it when they decided to ride out, knowing that they're riding out to their deaths.
Yeah.
Just powerful stuff. The elves coming to help. Just a lot of great story things going on here. So definitely a highlight of fight scenes for me. The other one probably isn't a surprise to anyone either.
Virgie said he would have been disappointed if Cat
I-
didn't pick something from the Lord of the Rings.
I
You know
would
what,
never want
Virgie?
to disappoint you, my good sir.
You're not wrong. So would I. I knew it was coming.
And the next one might also not be a surprise. This battle scene is something that I have been waiting for since I was 7 years old.
What?
And I watched it again on Sunday and I cried again. No Man's Land will forever be to me like my like I might get emotional just even talking about it. I cannot express to you from the age of 7 into adulthood the passion that I have had for this character. And most especially the way George Perez brought her to life for me. She had long curly hair, blue eyes, and she was just beautiful and powerful and kind and empathetic. But you know, one of those do no harm but take no shit people, and someone that I have always idolized in a way that I've never connected to another character before. So to have this come to live action and for them to treat her with the respect that I always was scared that she wasn't going to get in these iterations was very powerful for me. I watched this movie 7 times in the theaters. And I watch it at least twice a year, if not more. And every single time, the storming of the beach and No Man's Land completely overwhelmed me because I'm right back to being a kid reading Crisis on Infinite Earths and then Perez's run of Wonder Woman again and feeling those emotions and connecting with that character again. So this for me, when she takes out the lasso and even when Steve Trezor holds that piece of, I don't know if it's the armored truck, whatever, and he yells shield and she runs and she jumps to go up to that clock tower to take out that sniper. Things I never thought that I would get to see because they don't make movies for the girl superheroes the same way that they do it for the men superheroes.
That is true.
And they did it here. And you know how I've always said that my biggest contention with Marvel is how they treat their female characters and their female driven films. So to get this, even though the second film was really disappointing after this, I have this. I'll always have this. I was alive at a time that I got to see this, and I got to see this as it was happening. And I know this is an artist rendition, but I really thought that it captured the power and the strength of her and that scene beautifully. So yeah, this is my other pick
Well said.
for best.
Very
I'll
Thank you.
I would like to add on that at this time, once again, I'll never let anybody else live it down. I thought this was a great movie, and I thought Miss Marvel was gonna beat it. I had to eat my own words, you know. What I will say that they did very well is that this is very much an adult and kid movie, kind of like Shrek. But the kid movies, I would say you'd have to be older than 8 to kind of get to understand certain things, and you still obviously don't know everything. But it's mostly an adult movie because there are adult themes that are talked about it. I agree with you; she was played very powerfully here, and throughout the movie, you know, and she was funny. It wasn't too much. Of course, they picked at it, you know, the weaker men. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
know, the beta men. I don't even know if that's a thing to call them. But you know, but
Mm.
this was a great movie. This was a great movie. I always like to poke fun at the fact that there was a Power Ranger fight on the beach with the whole water, the wire and everything. But
Let me tell you, you can say all you want about that, but even in the films that I didn't think were as successful for DC, any scene that showed the Amazons fighting,
mhm,
I'm 100% here for it. That
I
was a
think
powerful scene. That was the original Shield with Antiope when it was her girlfriend who held the shield and she had those 3 arrows and she took out those 2 dudes. It was
I
badass.
think the best Amazonian scene was when Darkseid or whoever Stephen Wolf came to get the mother
Oh, when he went
box.
to the mother box, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I think that was the bad. I
amazing.
think that was the best
Then
one,
when
if
she's
you ask
like,
me.
Amazon, show them your fear, and they all yell, we have no fear. And they just got ready to get down. They were ready to sacrifice themselves when those big jack women were hit. Oh,
Yeah, yo,
what did
legit
I say?
fact.
What did I say?
That's all I'm
She
gonna
said
say.
it. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll hear it again and again because she
Over
will
and
say
over,
it every
babe.
time.
Amazon's fighting. I'm here for it.
It was amazing. It was
It
amazing.
was. It was. So on to my worst fight scenes. And I know this is going to be a very controversial pick. It's the first one, right?
It's the first one, yeah. But
Um,
it's true though. I agree with you on this one because
I
it
know I'm
was
going to get a lot of hate for this.
for its time, even for the story that
Even
led up
for
to
its
it,
time.
for its
Even
time,
for its time. Because
it
there
was
were
great.
other films that came out in that wheelhouse that had fight scenes that completely blew your mind.
This is
And
true.
then we had this.
Poke, poke,
Uh,
shuffle, shuffle, poke, poke, shuffle. Dead.
I don't know why they never remade this.
They,
Honestly,
you got to see that
They
one
they
dude
have
re-edit.
tried to with the Obi-Wan series and with Rogue One, which
Mhm.
I think is
The best.
technically the best Star Wars film that they have put out to date. I will die on that hill.
I would be
Um,
there with you.
right. It wouldn't be as emotionally significant as if it wasn't for the original series, and I will always say that.
Hmm.
But technically, with choreography, and I understand we're talking 1970s and the 20s to 2020s. No, when did Rogue One come out? 2000. Anyway,
Oh, hold
2000
on.
something.
2019?
No,
It was
Rogue
before
One.
COVID.
No, it was
2016.
before that. 2016. Okay. So
Okay.
I know we're talking 1977 and in 2019, but this
Oh, so Greg
was
said they remade it.
embarrassing.
Greg, if you could drop that link so that way we can pull it
Really?
up
Is it
later.
It's
like if you were to get the film now, is that what you
no, no,
get?
no, no,
The
not
remake?
not
Or is
not
this a
not
fan
Lucas.
thing?
It's not Lucas. It's a fan made one on
Oh,
YouTube,
okay.
and it is dope.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's why I say that, like, I feel that there were ways that they could have worked around the age of Ben Kenobi or did that whole thing like they do with the Power Rangers where they have them fight in slow motion and then speed it up.
Right?
Yep. He
Rogue
sure
One.
did, Bergie. He sure did. But
Okay.
tell me, at Rogue One, when it was all dark and you heard that noise and you saw
Oh,
that saber, you did not lose your goddamn shit.
Right?
And I
listen.
was like, this makes sense. I am now afraid of this man. This man I am
This
not scared of at all.
no.
No, because you know what? I agree with you, Kat. There have been 2 times that I've been hyped to see Vader on screen, like at that hype was obviously Rogue One, and actually playing Star Wars, The Fallen Order. When Cal runs into Vader, and you're like, "Oh my God, it's Vader! He's dead. He gonna die." But
Right.
like in the dark, you hear the.
But even like Vader in the Clone Wars, and in
Ooh.
Rebels, and even in the Obi-Wan series when it's him and Anakin fighting, these were all, and I know they're younger actors, and also it's animated for two of them, but these are all the Vader that we wanted and feared and respected and thought was so badass. This they
Wasn't
could
it.
this wasn't it, and I don't want to give them, oh, it was the 70s. We had Bruce Lee films in the 70s and they don't look like that.
We had Christopher Lee in the 70s.
Yes.
Bruh.
We had I'm trying to think of another one, but I can't remember. But anyways, so this
Errol
is what
Flynn.
we had, people that were capable of doing better than this, and we're doing so at this same time. So I feel like that's kind of weak. Could have put masks on them or shot them from far away and had a better fight scene.
You are not wrong, Bergie. You are not wrong.
Someone's grandpa on a respirator.
But my Bergie, I said he was winded from that fight, and that's why he was like this now.
I mean, I want to see the CGI fight of them two fighting.
I do. We'll have to look it up on YouTube. So my next worst fight scene is another urban, because I was having problems finding like actual photos from the film. And this might surprise some people, but also shouldn't. It is from The Hobbit, Battle of Five Armies, the movie that should not have been made.
Yep.
And the battle nobody gave a shit about because it wasn't even in the fucking book. Now, when they said they were adding a battle scene to the Hobbit films, I thought it was going to be the Necromancer War with the wizards. I really thought that, and I was excited for that. Then we got this. And the thing that pissed me off the most is, if you guys watched this movie, you saw they had those giant worms, like those tremor worms.
Yeah.
Dig all the way up and deposit them there, but they did not stay to fight. That fight would have been over. They could have just dug under the mountain and like made a sinkhole and done. The whole thing would have been done. You had them drop them off 1.6 miles away from the battle and then dip for what?
It's the same thing where people are like, if you had giant birds that could fly you to that mountain that fast, why didn't you just do an airdrop and just drop it straight into the mountain?
There was an actual valid excuse for the Eagles not doing it. But that does not fly for the worms. It really doesn't. Is it like AAA? You only get the first 300 miles free, and then after that, you had to pay, and they didn't have the money.
Feed me dirt. I don't have any.
They made up these whole other characters that were not needed. The Hobbit didn't need it. So there's so many things that piss me off about the Hobbit. But this is where I'm going to like draw that line in the sand of like, this was the shittiest battle scene because it never should have happened.
Fair enough. You see, nothing I've noticed, a very common thing that's happening with us. Not that saying that this was any worse, but you and I picked number one worst battle scenes that were very dear to us emotionally.
I think it's like emotional.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're emotionally connected to the material, you're going to feel much stronger about what you see.
I'm just
like,
saying.
were there worse fight scenes? Absolutely. But did I care? No. This one pissed me off. This one made me real mad.
Of course.
Ooh, thanks, Greg. You put the link in the chat.
Oh, I got it brought up. I'm gonna play it after you do yours.
All right. So for my honorable mention, I have one that they're both, to me, they're funny, but one is funny bad and the other one's funny good. Right. So the first one is from a movie that I don't know, maybe 18 people saw, including myself. It is No Retreat, No Surrender.
Of course I saw this.
I think it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme's first film. I think. And then the other guy, Kurt McKinney, is most famous for being like on General Hospital or one of those other soap operas. I don't know which one, but it was a soap opera. And to me, something that I still quote to this day, if you've never seen this movie, that's not going to make any sense. So he's a henchman for this guy that's trying to close his dad's dojo, and he beats his dad up and breaks his leg. And so he tries to fight the guy, and the guy whips his ass, the Jean-Claude Van Damme character. But then at the end of the movie, he gets Kurt McKinney's character gets trained by the ghost of Bruce Lee.
I forgot about that.
And
part.
then And then he has a rematch with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And at the beginning of that scene, Jean-Claude Van Damme says, "It is you, the son, is it not?" And then Kurt McKinney goes, "But this time it'll be different, Russian." And Jean-Claude Van Damme gets so pissed off at this comment. I think because he's Austrian, not Russian. But for sure. But the level of anger he had at that sentence was way disproportionate. And then a very not martial arts fight ensued. And this movie is one of those classic films that I will watch every time it comes up on Pluto TV or whatever. I don't care. But I acknowledge that it's not a great movie.
It is not.
It is highly quotable, though.
See, this came out during that time where black kids of my age, we're starting to get into all the kung fu movies. So we didn't care where it came from or who was in it. We're watching kung fu movies. Yeah. We had Saturdays. It's like, cool. Go to the cousin's house. Kung fu movie time. Let's go. Popcorn, kung fu movies. That's all we watched. And we didn't care whether it was good or bad. We watched.
I think his name was Jace, right? And then he had that friend who was like, Jace, no retreat, no surrender. And then,
of course,
he gets the glow and kicks that guy's. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know what else to call it.
Sorry.
That second wind. He gets that second wind.
It's the power of friendship.
Yeah, it is.
Naruto.
It is. Friendship is magic. Friendship is magic, like My Little Pony.
This is such a bad classic martial arts movie from the 80s.
My next one is also a funny film, a funny fight scene, but it's also completely badass. One of my favorites, and I think one of the best movies out there just in general. And it is the fight of the landlady in Kung Fu Hustle.
I have one. I have the complete mirror version of this on my honorable mention.
Do you?
Mention. Yes. So it's funny. Yes. It's good, but it's also bad. And technically, it's not even a scene because it's the whole freaking movie. It's I mean, but Landlady was
Landlady
was the pacing for me.
Listen, we're not
gonna go into it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Take a nap. I put this movie on while I was starting to pack, and then I never packed because I ended up sitting down to watch the movie because it's one of those things that you have to watch. You can't have it on the background because there's so much visually going on, and it's funny and it's silly and the fight scenes are ridiculous and not anywhere near the sphere of reality, but they're fun, and it's fun in a good way. It's not something they're like, oh, this movie is terrible. No, this movie is good in its goodness. No terribles here.
That is true.
Yeah, okay, you can wake up now.
Great choices, actually. Those were pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you very much. Right? What's my score?
What were the movies again? I just want to make sure. No, I'll give you an 8. I'd even give you an 8 for sure. 0.5.
I'm saying 9 because you brought up, like mostly because of the Star Wars one, because Star Wars is that holy cow where we can't do anything wrong. No, we have to criticize all the things that are wrong. That fight scene was wrong.
You can love something but understand its faults, like it, grounded in reality. I say that all the time. I'm a fan of things, but it's always grounded in reality. If someone's like, I don't like this movie because of this plot hole or that, I'm like, you know what, that's fair. And I know that it's there, but it doesn't detract from my enjoyment. Thank you, Mr. Bergevine.
There we go. All right, so here is the link to the scene that Greg and I were talking about, and I'm gonna show us a little bit of it because it's dope, and it's a fan-made remake, and it looks good.
How long is it?
The whole thing is like 6 minutes. We're gonna get like a minute of that.
Okay. I think we need to find a way to play some of these things and do some comments. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm gonna shut up now. It looks good.
Ooh. So, I feel like I've seen this.
You probably have. It's 4 years old.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely seen this.
Because pull it off with the Force. Because it's Vader. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's. Oh. This also looks like the start of a bad porno, but whatever.
No,
I would argue a good porno.
Fair enough. So he saw Rogue One, and he's like, the end fight. Why does that this like the last fight in Rogue One happens like literally a week before this fight.
Okay,
Mhm.
can I
Like,
just say
what happened?
the way Ben Kenobi activates his saber has always bothered me in this scene.
That's why they made fun of it in Spaceballs, and that's why
Yes,
it was
yeah, I
down
remember.
there.
Oh my god. Oh.
And so the poking and prodding is gone, and they redid it. It's because this is Vader, and how's Vader going to feel seeing this guy? Because what the last time they saw each other, what happened?
He killed him.
He took his arm and his legs.
He killed him.
He ain't happy with his man.
No, he's seen him after that, remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. He split his face open again,
Yeah.
just like Ahsoka. And he's like, bruh, I'm tired of you guys.
But then Vader gives him the gift of, you didn't kill me, I killed me.
Exactly.
I feel like if this gentleman had more of a budget, this would have been an amazing scene.
It would have been.
And actually, let me take that back. I think this is an amazing scene so far, but it would have been even better if he had more of a budget. I think that's fair for me to say because, like,
I do.
I'm heavily invested. We can't hear anything, so sometimes the theme and
Yeah,
music.
I have seen this before, and yes, it is. This is what, even if we didn't get to this level,
Mhm.
something between what we got and this would have been acceptable because they are aged people.
Baby, go away, go away, go away. Move your face, move your face. Nah, over there, Miss Rachel. Sorry about that. There is no microphone here. There is no.
All right, Reggie, it's your turn.
All right. So we're ready for my picks. So like Mayhem, I do have one anime on my list. Actually, do I have more than one? I don't remember. We're gonna
Can
find
you
out
post
together.
up Greg's comment before you get started? Because I want to acknowledge
Okay.
all of the fight
Okay.
scenes that he did because they're all great. Jackie
Yes.
Chan versus Benny the Jet and Meals on Wheels. Hitman versus
Yes.
10 Karate Masters. The church scene in Kingsman.
Yes.
Absolutely, Greg. Agreed
Those
on all
are-
counts.
Yes, those are all dope scenes because they all would get you hype.
You hear that, Virgie? You can't choose those.
Yeah.
We're expecting your homework
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we are expecting your picks. We almost didn't do this tonight, but we couldn't think of another topic
We could-
Right.
because we
Alright,
wanted to
so-
see what you picked.
Yes.
But okay, on to Ridge.
So my first one, it's not as emotional connected to me as it is for your guys' number one picks were, but it's up there because when I watched this movie in theater, it blew my mind. And this scene in particular was just, oh my God, like, what is this? And it set the tone for the rest of the movie for me. And once I just this one pick, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That's all. Because look, show me.
Oh yes.
Show me.
The
I
Matrix.
know kung fu. Show me. Show me you know kung fu.
Stop trying
Bro.
to hit me and hit me.
Exactly. You think that's air that you're breathing? Bruh. I was like, because the first thing he's like, he tells you what the Matrix is. You're like, oh, okay, I understand it. Then this fight happens.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Bruh. There, right there. Do you think that's air that you're breathing? He's like, you have to let go of all things that you thought you knew were real.
So Ray is very appreciative of the fact that you chose the Matrix.
And I chose it because when this came out in this movie, in the scene, it just blew my mind. I didn't choose the fight
Well,
with
it changed
Smith.
cinema.
I didn't choose the fight with Smith because that's the bad guy, good guy fight.
Yeah.
Right.
This was the training fight. And without this, he wouldn't have been able to do that. And
The scene with Trinity in the beginning was pretty freaking amazing too.
Yes, it was. And
so much so they brought it back so many times. Oh my goodness.
Right. And and it's like, and you can see, even though that they're not fighting for, you can see that he's like, I don't want to get hit by this again.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop it. And Morpheus is like, nah, son, I have to show you. I have to get you ready. You're not ready yet. Let me get you there. And it's just the impact that this scene had. Like the entire crew came out to watch this scene. And they're like, yo, the kid's getting it. He's in it. And then right after this, they're just standing there. It's like, oh, it's a jump test. And yeah, this fight scene was just so dope. And the fact that both of them actually spent the months learning this, and then both of them kept up with that which they learned in this movie and used it in other movies. And it's like so good. So good.
I want to say the second Rayanne, but I'm not 100% sure. She's talking about the ghost twins that keep popping in and out of the cars. Was that the
Yeah.
second one?
Second movie.
That was the second one.
Yep. Because that's when he stops all the machine gun fire. And
Yeah.
he's like, you're better than your predecessors. Okay. Cool.
I think up until maybe Matrix 3, they've had really great fight scenes. Oh, they have some that were good, and they had one that topped it. You know, sometimes it got a little too theatrical, but this was
Well, in the world that they were, it made sense.
yeah.
It did.
You're literally bending reality at this point, so there's really nothing you can do. But tell me, you wouldn't have loved to have that whole thing's like, oh, I need to learn how to fly a helicopter. They download it into your brain, and you're good to go.
That's
Right.
100%. But then the story didn't make sense sometimes. But anyway, this is not my pick, Reggie. No. This is a great pick. This is a great pick.
It is a great pick. That was a great fight scene, and you could see the dedication that each of them
100%
had to their roles to do that.
And for my second pick, it's from an anime, and this is the part where you knew the conviction of both of these characters, because one used an ability that he swore he would never use, but he didn't want to lose because he had his pride still, and he's like, I can't beat you with just this. You keep getting through it. So he had to change his conviction, and the other one is showing him his conviction. He's like, dude, I'm going to lose my entire arm to show you I'm going to win this. And it was the culmination of a tournament arc, and that is this scene from My Hero Academia.
Oh, snap.
This fight, the way it ended, the fight, just the way it was going up. So for those that don't know, the one on the right is Izuku Midoriya. He has the power of
Deku.
all for one. No.
His name is Deku.
Is one for all. I'm sorry, yes, it is Deku. And he has one for all as his power, but his body can't fully use it. He can only use, without hurting himself, like 5%. But
no, Reggie, you gotta sell it. This man can literally become Superman without flying. And technically he can. It gets complicated. So he has the power of Superman, but the body of Mr. Glass from M. Night Shyamalan Glass, like
it's gonna break.
Like
it's gonna break. And so sadly, that's how he uses his power. Like you can't see it, but both his pinky and ring finger are already broken.
Purple broke it, and he flicked somebody with 10% of the power, I believe. 10% of the power 10%. Broke his fingers.
Yes, and he broke the bones, and then he did it again with the same finger, and just bruised every tendon, muscle, everything in the finger. Both those fingers gone. And so, because of this fight, Todoroki on the left, he never uses his firepower because he hates his dad,
who's a fireman,
who's like the number 2 hero in Japan, and he hates his dad with a passion and said, I hate you. You gave me this fire. I will never use this ever.
So can I interject real quickly? Because you know what? I think you're speaking to people as if they know what this anime is, and maybe they heard of it. This anime is brought in a world where everybody has what's called a quirk or superpower. You know, I'm guessing Marvel and DC have patented that word.
Metahuman and mutant.
Right. So Deku originally started out as a person without a superpower. It was called quirk.
And only 2% of the population could that happen to. So he was in that 2%.
They literally have criminals with superpowers, and they also have regular people with superpowers. The guy on the left, his mom and dad, one had ice for the white, one was fire for the ice for the left, and fire for the red for the right. So hopefully I said that correctly.
Swap it, but
whatever. You know what I mean. So what happens is him and his dad had beef. He wasn't going to use his fire side. Deku, who's kind of like, I don't know. He's like
Peter Parker. He's literally Peter Parker in this.
But he's so much more inspirational.
But he's inspirational. Yes.
More than Peter Parker. Listen, watch this anime because it's all about what if your world everybody had superpowers, how things would go, and how dark it gets. Yes. This fight was amazing. This is a great fight. I love you for this, Reggie. I'm gonna cry.
Wow. Oh,
No,
okay.
because it's so amazing. And not for nothing, all Deku fights are dope for the most part.
Yes, they are.
But go ahead.
But this it's just so dope. And then and this is where he decides I have to use my fire because Deku kept breaking the ice. As you can see, up to his elbow is already broken on one arm. Already,
Yep.
one arm. He can't use that arm barely. Like the hand is purple, the arm is purple, 2 fingers are gone. He's got 2 fingers missing off the other hand. Yeah,
Mind you, this is just a tournament. This is just a friendly tournament.
This is to show who's number one. Because whoever's number one can get sponsors and become a sponsored hero while they're in school and get the big money and have it on Easy Street.
Sounds like the real world.
Right? And he's like, I'm never going to join my dad and I'm never going to use fire. But Deku pushed him so hard because he kept breaking all the ice that he would use. He's like, nah, I'm going to break it all. He's like, he keeps breaking my ice. I have to take it up a notch. The only other notch I have is fire. And so he started using his fire. And at the end of this fight, they both go all out. This arm, by the end of the fight, it's a purple and black mess. Because they both go the hardest. Mm-hmm. And so when these two go to do their final attacks on each other, this is what happens. This.
In a ring. In a stadium.
and the only reason that the stadium didn't explode is because the teacher that can create concrete out of nothing put up, well, there were 10 barriers here. There were. This is how many barriers they went through with their attacks. And they both got scolded. Just because it's a strong attack doesn't mean you use it.
This is a really dope anime because one thing that they do is Deku goes to get healed. And the girl, I forgot their name, but the nurse is like, you can't use that amount of force ever again, or else you won't be able to use your quirk ever again because your body can't handle that. Imagine that. Most times we see superheroes get new powers and they hurt themselves in the beginning, but then they get used to it and they go all out. They're like, nah, if you do that again, you won't even be able to use your arms again.
Yes.
That's how realistic this is. We definitely next time have to show some of that fight because you did a great job explaining it, but just seeing it is just, oh man.
It's so dope. And literally after this, he had to come up with a new fighting style, which is dope.
Yes.
And so those are my top 2. And I love them and they're dear to me. Mm-hmm. And my next 2, they're just bad. One, because I did enjoy the person as an actor, and then I watched this and I was like, I'm sorry. I know who this is. I know what they can do. And this ain't it. And the first one that I have for my worst fight scene is from I just forgot the name of the movie.
You're doing great.
Crap. But it is
just show it.
Sorry. Honorable mention. Tony Jaa, Ong Bak, first one. All the fights. Bruh. This movie. Just go watch it. Go watch Ong Bak. God, go watch Ong Bak 2 and 3. Dear God, go watch the Ong Bak series. Just watch it. Watch Tony Jaa and what he does. Mm-hmm. I don't know why he's not bigger than what he is. He needs to be. And I'm sad for that. But I'm okay. I still got to see him. Honorable mention right there.
Fair enough.
This scene right here. Oh, what the hell's the name of this movie? Hold on. I forgot. It's so bad. I've already forgotten the name of the movie and I chose the movie. What? And that's that's Steven Seagal doing a flip about to throw a 320-pound Samoan guy across the wall. I'm sorry, what?
Did he have the ponytail?
You know what? I'm shocked at myself for not picking a Steven Seagal movie worth having the worst film, but I think maybe my mind has erased it completely.
Let's see which no, not the dive bar scene. Crap, Exit Wounds. There you go with DMX. Exit Wounds with DMX.
Oh.
Bruh. I saw this in theaters with the boys.
So did I.
Yes, DMX and Steven Seagal. Yeah, and this is when I learned that Steven Seagal has a clause in all his movies. He doesn't lose fights. He can draw, but he can never lose a fight. Ever.
Vin Diesel and The Rock have that as part of their contracts now too, and I find that to be very disappointing.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, yes, Exit Wounds. I watched this fight in the theater and was like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. That's a big Samoan dude. I know lots of big Samoan dudes. Ain't nobody gonna do a flip in the air. So basically, the Samoan guy was about to go and give Steven an F5 if you watch wrestling. He's about to John Cena him. And Steven Seagal was about to get thrown and lifted his body off of this man's shoulders into the air, cartwheeled, landed, and then threw this man immediately after this scene. Across a bar. I'm sorry, across the bar area of a club.
What's the problem?
What? No.
Do you see that man's determination? Anything is possible.
I don't care about that determination. No, it's
look at how hard he's concentrating.
No, I'm sorry. No. And here's the other bad part about this.
Yeah,
it's a club, and a white dude's fighting a Samoan, and everyone's just standing there watching it.
Well, Samoans are pretty intimidating.
In my experience, if a Samoan person starts to fight anyone in a club, you vacate the area because you don't know where people are going to be getting thrown. I've only seen it happen once, and that's all I ever need to see it happen is once. I'm like, it's us big Samoan. Why that dude got thrown? I gotta go. I ain't no part for me. Gotta go.
I live in New York, so people get thrown at least once a week.
I believe it.
At least once a week. And then people like me get flashed every 9 years. But all right, cool. Whatever.
But yeah, it was bad. And yeah, this is one of the first ones that popped out to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that. And yeah, no. Ooh. So my second one is a combination of fights, but it's the same hero in the fighting the bodyguard of the main bad guy. And as soon as I saw these fights in theaters and how they ended, I was mad. But it's Imrod versus any female MMA fighter in the Fast series. Bruh, no. That's Gina Carano when she was still Gina Carano. Could knock someone out in a hit. Yes.
Is it wrong that I say that when most of the people fought, I did not pay attention to it? If they weren't driving, I didn't care for it. I'm going to be honest with you.
But that's why I was paying attention to it. They were drawing away from the driving part, making me watch the fights. I'm like, cool, I'll watch the fights. And then they make Gina Carano and Imrod fight. Yes.
What movie did this fight happen?
This was Fate of the Furious. No. Yeah, Fate of the Furious.
I only saw the first three. I have no idea what you're talking
Technically, I saw the first one, and I remember the first one in full. Everything else was a blur. It's like
you're
Star
not
Wars.
Missing much. They're about to go to space, sir. They're about to go to space.
I think they already went to space.
They already went to space. Ludacris and Tyrese.
Yeah,
went to space.
I'm sorry. Yes, the last movie they did go to space. Fast 10. They went to. Why are the race cars in space?
And then now they're gonna have the last the Fast 10 in 3 parts.
It wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. I like Imrod as an actress.
When you're here,
she can fight, but you put her up against
great in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, she did really good. I can believe that in Dungeons and Dragons. She's a giant, and I can believe that there. In a street fight and something that's supposed to be based in reality, that's Gina Carano right out of the MMA. Right, out of UFC. I'm not gonna believe it. I'm not. I'm sorry. Cool. Like the guys when they fight, Vin Diesel and The Rock, one of them's gonna beat the other one up. I can see that. This is Michelle Rodriguez before she bulked up, fighting Gina Carano. It's not happening. She's
scrappy.
So no. I'm just gonna say this.
No,
I don't. Michelle Rodriguez. I'm so
look how small she is. Look how big Gina is.
I'm just so tired of her being typecasted. You know what I'm saying? I wish so much more for her. But maybe she's happy with collecting that check. That said,
I don't blame her for collecting the check.
But nobody.
Give her more reasonable people she can fight.
I just want to say what. Like, I don't remember this fight.
It was in the subway when she was still brainwashed.
There was a subway in that movie? Why
she was brainwashed. If she was brainwashed, this had to have been like the 4th one or the 5th one.
Oh, yeah.
No, because she didn't come back until this one. Because she was working for what's his face? Crap.
You know
The more
what, Kat?
Legolas.
You know
Don't
what, Kat?
listen. Don't listen to anything I say because again, I only watched the first 3.
When you're here, you're family. Wait, that's
Yeah, no.
Olive Garden.
That's the
sorry.
Olive Garden. That's
No.
not these movies. That's the
I
Olive
mean, it
Garden.
might as well be.
And then and then the second one rolls right into it. Bruh, do you see who that is? That's Roro.
That's a woman.
Also fresh out of the UFC.
Fresh
You're
out
not
this-
gonna beat this woman in the fight.
fresh
I'm
out
sorry,
the
look at-
Iron Gym.
You
You know he's mad when he starts clapping.
Look at these guns. Look at those guns. Look at them.
I can't believe.
Look at this. Look. No,
What a
he's
nerd.
not winning this fight.
Okay, sir, I
Sorry.
believe you.
Okay,
I
but
believe
you're
you.
putting a lot. Like I understand that they're trained
And also,
fighters
Reggie,
and they're built,
Reggie,
but just
she's a-
because she's skinny doesn't mean that she's not scrappy. Let me tell you, when my sister used to and I used to tussle, I had a good 40 pounds on her, but her bony ass hurt. Whenever she got me with an elbow or something, I felt like I was getting stabbed. Don't sleep on skinny
Listen,
women.
Listen, that bodybuilder, I think, is fighting in heels. Okay, you know what it takes to fight in heels?
And like if the
Seriously?
slit doesn't even go all the way up, it's restricting her movement.
You know, that's
my-
that's
oh
a
my
lady fighter. Okay,
Now-
you
now
need to
y'all
give
making
Michelle
me-
Rodriguez her props for even
She's
being
also
able
in
to
a
tussle.
dress. That the slit doesn't go all the way
but
up.
I bet you her dress is more flowy.
Listen,
No,
mm,
it wasn't.
you
it
know what?
wasn't.
You don't know that. You're not
We're
a
gonna-
woman. Go ahead, Michelle. It was flowy up top, in the back.
It was
No.
flowy where it needed to be.
Oh my God, stop. Anyway, those are my two. And then honorable mention that's so good but so bad that also
Rocky Card.
mirrors Cats is this entire movie. I love it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I love it. It's so bad, it's so good.
I
trained
did not
him
get
on purpose
past.
as a joke.
I did not get past the 10 minutes of him rolling down the goddamn hill.
Oh my god. No, you know what my favorite part is? Oh my god,
So
if
bad.
we could watch that. if
No
we could
wonder you
watch
two
it.
fight so much. You're the same damn person.
First of all, that is not true, okay? Can we go back to the MMA steroid fighter and Michelle Rodriguez, please? She might not be on steroids. Look. Okay, is she even wearing a bra? She has so much free range. That woman is a fighter. Okay, do we have any more like it's okay. Okay, hear me out. Okay. She's not even wearing socks. She's prepared to take off. She's prepared to take off her heels and grapple. Oh, Michelle Rodriguez, you survived that?
Yes. Yeah. She survived that.
Yo, okay. Can I be mean for 1 second? Can I be mean?
Sure.
Go ahead, be mean.
Why is her bed so low to the ground?
That's not her bed. That's her boss's bed.
That's her boss's bed. Is she
Yes.
like banging the boss?
No, she's the bodyguard.
Ah, there goes my joke. Because I was about to say she. You don't have sex with her. She has sex with you. She's the type to be like you'll moan during sex. She'll be like, "Yeah, take this vagina. Yeah, take it."
Sir. Sir.
I'm all for empowerment of women. No, seriously, I'm not laughing about that.
So, what do you think of my list? If you can stop laughing, look, you frozen cat. She look what you did. She can't.
I'm trying
do
to
anything.
decide if I should reprimand him or if I should let it go. Because that was not nice.
But it was very empowering.
No, it wasn't. It was mean.
What part? You got to tell me what's wrong so I can fix it. What part
The
was
part
bad?
where you opened your mouth.
In Russia, girl takes you.
Anyway, sir.
I imagine she hears a lot about her being too masculine
Oh
because
no.
she's
No.
built.
Let me stop that right there. One of my favorite games is The Last of Us 2, which features a woman who's actually portraying an actual bodybuilder. I think a CrossFit bodybuilder who looks, a lot of people say masculine. I have no problem with a woman looking masculine. And I think, honestly, that's one of my favorite things, to see a woman very fit, to either being very quote unquote masculine or very fit, like decked out, or just like, slim waist, abs, like really cut legs. I have no problem with her looking assertive, even dominant. Not, I'm going to take away the masculine. I have no problem with that. In the movie context, I'm enjoying making fun of it. I have no problem with it. If she was right here, I'd feel comfortable as hell until she put her arm around me. Then I know I did something
Why
wrong.
would you be uncomfortable? Boy, just stop. What's the rating?
Bad man. Should you all your scores? What? Okay, that's fine. I once again, I have no problem with masculine looking or feminine looking women.
I'm sure
men,
they're
whatever.
very relieved to hear that, Michael.
Ooh, she went with the
What you call my name?
government.
Ooh.
You messed up.
I guess I don't.
Anyways,
Mind you, I didn't say. Okay, you know. Okay. I think your score should be an 8. Honestly,
Okay.
Viola Davis in Woman King is strong. 100%.
I haven't watched that, but I've seen the
Absolutely.
trailers. Yeah.
That's another movie that is goosebump, inspiring.
It looks bad, but yes. Well, and what did you think of my list, Lady Sid and I?
I thought your list was fantastic, except for your Kung Pao. That movie does not deserve to be on any lists whatsoever. But I respect, there are movies that, again, as we said, we know are bad, but we still love them in their badness. Like, how bad they are is what makes it fun. Like Velocipaster, which I have recommended more than once. And I can't believe I didn't think about that fight scene at the end of the film. So yeah, respect. Good list. Everybody had good lists. Even though I'm going to deduct 10 points from Mayhem's 8.5.
Why?
For body shaming.
Negative
I
1.
was not body shaming at all. You know what? Reggie points out the fact that, you know what? That's fine.
I was just noting the difference between their physical attributes for fighting. You took it a step further.
Bane fighting Batman. That doesn't make any sense. Bane is like 300 pounds of juiced up.
Well, that
dude.
Depending, honestly,
Batman weighs 83 pounds. Sopping
wet. It depends on how he's drawn. Because I think Bane is like 280, maybe. And then when the juice comes in, he goes to like a 350, maybe 400, depending on how he's drawn and animated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Greg might have been talking about the Dark Knight Rises Bane.
Yes.
Well, Christian Bale versus Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fair assessment.
Oh, so nobody chose a Jackie Chan scene. There's so many to choose from. From me personally, I didn't choose one. There's so many great scenes. And to find out he did 90% of them, if not 100% of them all, I mean, I'd probably choose the one. I
always thought. Hmm? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd probably choose the one where he hurt himself the worst and still completed it. Like the one where I think.
You mean where he split his skull, broke half his ribs, or broke his leg?
Yeah, or fell down and concussion, and I mean
that was just Tuesday,
right?
So yeah, but no, Jackie Chan is definitely a superstar, and he deserves to be on any list when it comes to.
Yeah, absolutely. As an OG, not to mention he choreographed a lot of those fights too.
Yep.
For me, what I always thought was kind of adorable about him is that he always said that he tried to play his fight scenes realistic. So like when they're playing with the ladder, he'll keep fighting, but he'll be like, "Ow!" But he does it like in such a cartoony way that it was funny.
Right.
And I just always thought that was so cute because he's doing these really intricate fight moves and this choreography for these scenes, but then he takes the time out to do a very exaggerated, like, "Ow, my head," and then keep fighting. Just thought that was always very adorable about him.
Yes, it is, because that's what everyone likes about, because he makes the fight scenes human.
Yes, that's exactly the one I'm talking about, Greg. The one where he slid down the pole in the mall and he fell through like 3 canopies and a ceiling or whatever. That's
and all the lights. Yeah. So
he'll finish that film like a month or 2 later. Yeah, just saying.
So he swung from the lights, slid down the lights, and then just went through all the canopies. And
if I remember the story correctly, they did a test run. The test one went fine. It's the actual shot that like the one they were going for that he hurt himself. Jeez.
Yes.
That man is Superman.
He is. All right. ladies and gentlemen.
I would love him as a Superman, an alternate universe Superman.
Ooh.
I'd buy that.
Third degree burns from it too.
Because the lights were on. The lights were still on.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, 100%. That man is not. You know what? Maybe next week we can do a Jackie Chan tribute. What do you guys think?
Ooh.
Oh, I love that idea.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right. So,
but it has to be all love, no hate.
Shade.
Ooh. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this is our show. Tell us what you think. Let us know in the comments below. What are your favorite fight scenes? What are your least favorite fight scenes? We want to know. We want to see what you think. And on that note, this is goodbye for Mr. De La Mayhem and the baby, Lady Sidona and myself.
She's the unofficial co-host.
And then Bergie's up for that. So hey, and Daddy's down for it. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 4-Letter Nerd, a Hyro Geekix Unlimited production. We appreciate you for watching. Like, subscribe, buttons, do it all. Comment. We're here weekly. We love you. Thank you for watching.